Hi, hello, welcome to Primetime Debate. Today we are going to discuss about the issue of Sambal, which is burning entire UP. Uttar Pradesh is having election very near. UP is biggest state of India, and UP has a very complex and dynamic composition of cultures. So because of many reasons, Uttar Pradesh have been the laboratory of Hindutva. This has been said by many of the prominent leaders of opposition. Today we are with Mr. Abhishek, who is a prominent person in BJP. He is going to speak with us today about the issue of Sambal. Welcome to debate, Mr. Abhishek ji. So, Mr. Abhishek ji, please tell me about what is Sambal all about? Is this the matter of ego, or it's the matter of election?
Historically, the place of Sambal has a great importance for Hindus.
Okay.
As a pilgrimage with over 36 small hamlets and about over 50 religious spots of importance, 22 wells, the wells where the Hindus take the auspicious bath, the religious bath of religious importance before going to temple, and 50 odd chowltries or dharamshalas. So this staggering number itself, is evidence to the number of people visiting to this Punya Kshetra or the Tirtha Kshetra of Sambal. And in the Hindu Puranas and the Itihasas, both in the Skanda Purana as well as in the Mahabharata, in the 3rd chapter, there is mention of Sambal as the place where the future incarnation of Bhagwan Vishnu's Kalki Avatara is going to take birth.
Yes, it's written.
So, all this attempt of trying to subjugate Sambal, keeping its actual history of Hindu roots and Hindu importance suppressed is not a very new effort by the other party. But what we need to understand, and when we look into history, we can find that ever since the time of Muhammad Ghazni, his nephew Ghazi Sayyid Masood had waged war with Prithviraj Chauhan in this place. So the historicity of the attacks on the important religious places and spiritual places of Hindus has its roots there. And if we count the Islamic invaders and other rulers involved in similar attacks, the list goes on. In the early 14th century, we had Qutbuddin Aibak. Following by him, after some years, we had Firoz Shah Tughlaq. We had the Sikandar Lodi from the Lodi dynasty. He even made Sambal as one of his capitals.
Okay.
No, it is not having any geographic importance, or it's not a major trade route. But you have to understand the attack on Mathura, Kashi, Ayodhya, Sambal. It is because these are the places which are of very high religious importance to Hindus. The Islamic invaders want to primarily target such places, which have the Hindu Astha attached to it. When we come, following the Lodhis, when we come to the Mughal dynasty, there are also historic mentions from the government data about activity of Babur in the area. There are, though the masjid there is believed to be by Babur, constructed by Babur, but it actually, there is no historicity to claim that. It's a much later construction. Humayun also was personally appointed as the governor of Sambal region by Babur. Akbar has also taken interest in the region of Sambal. Shah Jahan was also one of the in charges of the city. So if you see, many rulers have taken interest in the city, despite it not being a trade route or, like I said, a strategic geographic location. Importantly, because it is a very, very important Hindu Tirtha Kshetra and Punya Kshetra. And the riots of 1978 are not the first time something like that had happened there. But yes, In independent India, killing of 184 people, arsoning, riots, destruction of life and property of that magnitude in a town of the size of Sambal is definitely huge. It has shocked the Hindus to the extent that Hindus had to leave. There was exodus of Hindus from Sambal, which is one of the most pitiable things, and something we should be ashamed of. Something like this happened in independent India.
So why is my question is, Mr. Abhishek ji, why Kalyan Singh ji was silent in this issue, and why Yogi ji is getting too aggressive in this issue? Was Kalyan Singh having no idea about this?
Definitely, when Kalyan Singh ji formed the government, the issue on hands, the time, the Ayodhya subject was primarily the task, the task of first priority. Now that Ayodhya is over, the other things that are on interest, like the Shahi Idgah issue at Mathura, that is also being taken up by Hindu sympathizers.
Yeah, the matter is
and
in the
government
courts.
will. I didn't get you.
Mathura issue is in courts as of now.
Yes. But there, the unbiased representation from the government will be going.
Okay.
We are not the people who will bring in draconian. We are the people who are fighting against the draconian laws like the Places of Worship Act, which are unconstitutional.
Actually, coming to this point, actually, Abhishek ji, coming to this point, Places of Worship Act. Today, Supreme Court also showed interest in listening to public interest litigation filed by MP of Hyderabad, Mr. Asaduddin Owaisi. What's your take on that?
So, does the MP of Hyderabad, Asaduddin Owaisi, believe in the Supreme Court, or he will stick to what he said outside the Supreme Court? Judge bhi aap, jury bhi aap, sab aap, bachega kya? If this is what is the attitude of Asaduddin Owaisi,
if he is talking like that, then why is he filing a PLA?
So that is what I am asking. Does he actually have conviction in his what he is doing, or is it only to do some eyewash and to show that he's actually trying to be proactive or dynamic about the issue? Actually, so such statements are very derogatory. Such statements are very derogatory about the judiciary. In 1978, the district magistrate at Sambal was a Muslim, but that doesn't mean that somebody in the Indian Administrative Service went against, or we would blindly say that he went against the Hindus of the region. But definitely, if inquiry happens and if the inquiry proves some malicious practices, definitely we can say.
Actually, there is a meme which is going on very viral in social media. Like before, when before 2.0 of Yogi Adityanath, there was a murder attempt on Asaduddin Owaisi in UP. Now, as elections are very near, UP elections are state assembly elections are very near. Now, OIC is taking up on this. Is it a political game? Has UP become a laboratory for Hindutva experiments?
You can definitely see that, whether or not UP is a Hindutva thing, the people of UP will show it. What is important is Asaduddin Owaisi, who is losing his importance. Even in the state of Telangana, when the government is not heeding to their party.
How can you say that? He is winning his MP position, he is getting his 8 out of 8 MLA seats. How can you say that he is losing his popularity?
You have to understand here that the BJP, which got 8 MLAs, has now multiplied manifold to get 8 MPs. This shows that his existence, his political existence is at stake in his own home state of Telangana.
Okay.
So with the growing political insecurities and existential crisis, he is putting his best efforts to become politically relevant. He is trying to challenge BJP, he is trying to challenge and make roads inwards in the BJP area.
Actually, my doubt is, Mr. Abhishek ji, OIC is very attracted, or he is having much fun in UP. Why does not OIC take serious actions, or whatever it may you may call it, on issues in Madhya Pradesh or issues in Orissa or issues in Jharkhand? He is not interested about such states. He is only interested about UP. Why?
What we need to understand is people with an ideology, with commitment to the cause, will go to any extent. For example, the workers of the BJP, the party Karyakartas of the BJP who have commitment from rest of India also even go to the northeast and work, go to Kashmir and work, go to Ladakh and work. They don't see for political capitalization. They are committed to the cause of nationalism, committed to the cause of the nation, committed to the cause of Hindutva and Hindu culture, Bharatiya culture. We don't look for political mileage or political leverage.
Can I
But
ask? Can I
here,
ask
what
a
you need to
serious question
understand
on this,
is
Mr. Abhishek?
those resorting to opportunistic politics will look for grounds where they can heat, where they can get political leverage. And definitely, Asaduddin Owaisi is one person known for politicizing all issues. Despite being a lawyer, he takes a biased stance, despite being a public representative, who always wants to play a victim card, and maybe he wants to see himself as the largest Muslim leader in India, and that is why he is going to a state with a major population so that he will further his political interests and leverage upon the burning issues there.
See, people, a section of people are appreciating OIC that at least he is taking a clear stance for his community. My take on BJP is when something happens in Bengal to your own Karyakartas, not leave about the citizens. When something happens to your own Karyakartas who are in West Bengal or Kashmir or some any other radical place, you don't take care of them. And you are questioning him who is taking care of his community or what he believes in.
Can you tell me any instances where he has taken issues to logical end?
At least he is representing
Only
it,
in the
right?
heat of the
He's loud
moment.
about it.
Only, no, 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 no. What you need to understand is only in heat of the moment, trying to get the limelight, trying to be in the center stage, trying to get the media glare by making statements, self-defeating statements like judge aap hai, jury aap hai, and then going filing a petition is highly hypocritical. What is important is you need to take things to the logical conclusion, and in this case, we work towards logical conclusion.
So,
Such
what's your
attacks have
take
been
on?
happening on Karyakartas for the past 20, 30 years, even in Northeast.
Yes.
Yet, one after the other, leaders go there, leaders build the force, leaders create the momentum, and then what we do thereafter coming to the forming the government is elimination of such issues, elimination of the environment that is not congenial for the growth of the nation, for growth of the people, which is not congenial to the integrity of India. It is not just looking at about ourselves and our self-interest. Bharatiya Janata Party believes in nation first, party next, and self last. It is definitely an organization which is built on the sacrifices of so many people, and definitely the organization takes care of the people. But most important, utmost important, and in priority, in first preference, is the interest of the nation. Only
So,
after interest of the nation is interest of the party kept, and then interest of the self in the last.
so how is BJP looking into this issue called Sambal?
The leader of BJP in Uttar Pradesh, Sri Yogi Adityanath ji, has made it clear on floor of the house that since 1978, over 204 Hindus have been killed in this region, of which 184 have been killed in the 1978 riots itself. The government is the BJP government and also the party both are committed towards retrieving the history. History and truth cannot be buried in the debris of a well. Definitely, through the legal institution, the institution of court and the institution of ASI, with evidence and in the most correct manner, history will be retrieved from the burials and the debris that has happened. Already you have seen a stepwell has been found, Shiv Mandir. The Harihara Shiv Mandir is also being under in the survey. The Kartik Mahadev Mandir has already been found. The Amrit Kund has also been found. Amrit Koop, or the place where the Hindus take the religious bath. This has also been found. So there are several such places. Like I had mentioned earlier, there are chowdhuries, dharamshalas, places of prayers and worship, then the Tirth Kund, the wells. So all these are important to rebring the glory of the Sambal,
See,
and this is going to happen.
see,
The
Abhishek
party
ji,
as well as the government are committed towards protecting the interest of Hindus who have been victimized for the last so many years in the legal way.
Abhishek ji, many things were found during even Gyanvapi also. They have found an entire temple underneath the so-called place. Now we ASI have found many things even here also. During what do you say? During Kashi, that when they were ASI was doing survey over there, a huge population have gathered there to stop ASI. We have seen bloodshed in Sambal. Now, what is this showing? Is the religious harmony of this country balancing or it's fading out?
It is very, that's a very good question. When the institutions of the government, the Department of Electricity was conducting a survey, they have also realized that there are many houses using electricity illegally,
Yes.
and the fines that have been levied have been to a tune of over 5 crores in a small town of Sambal. So you can see the level of non-compliance with law which has become habitual to these people.
No,
So
what
there is
was
a
no?
resistance in.
No, what I am saying is, what was Yogiji's government doing from this many? It's almost 8 years or 9 years of Yogiji's government. What was Yogiji's government doing from these many years in this
To
issue,
learn what the
particularly
government was doing,
electricity?
you should go
Everyone
to
of here knows
to
how electricity was being misused during Akhilesh era in UP and how people suffered because of electricity shortage. What was Yogi Adityanath's government doing from these many years, despite
you
getting
can read
2.0 power?
you can read the. If the question is over, if you let me answer, I would like to answer it.
Please, please.
The government has taken several infrastructure works, several employment works. A huge amount of investments have come into UP. Employment generation has happened. Creation of infrastructure in form of highways, bridges has happened. Many foreign companies have started their manufacturing units in Uttar Pradesh. Places of religious importance, tourist attractions. You can see Prayagraj, Ayodhya, Kashi. So much of development work has happened across Uttar Pradesh, and it is in pipeline. So many more things are in pipeline. Definitely, in the order of priority of the government, or when there are prayers from the people, or when there are petitions in the court, definitely such matters will come on priority in more preference, and such matters will be addressed. So here you can see the trigger, the petition by Sri Vishnu Shankar Jain, senior advocate, who has made the Union of India party, the state of Uttar Pradesh, the district magistrate of Sambal, and also the Masjid committee. All these have been party. But only the people of the Masjid committee, the members have not turned up. That is a different story. But when such cases have come up and the courts give direction, governments take faster steps than otherwise the usual speed of the government.
See, few months back there
So
was
where I wanted to take the attention by mentioning about the electricity misuse and the fines levied is the tune of non-compliance and resistance to government authorities in some people there. So similarly, when a survey is happening, they may not welcome it, and that is not important that they welcome it. It is ultimately the order of the court that is important.
courts
There can
ordered
be
it to
people who
end.
don't like rule of law. There can be people who don't like rule of law or who don't comply with rule of law. But definitely the state will enforce rule of law because we are in a democracy, and what the courts actually are speaking and ordering is very important.
Many people are saying that this is secularism versus fact. What you say? What is your take on this? Is this
Can
secularism
you
versus
repeat?
facts?
Can you repeat?
Many people are saying Sambal issue wholesomely says that secularism versus facts. Do you agree to this?
What is secularism and what is facts? Is secularism Hindu phobia? Is secularism burying Hindu temples?
No, I doesn't mean that. There is a something. There is
is
something called 1991 Places of Worship Act, right?
definitely. So what has happened here against the 1991 Act? Whether the government has taken an independent decision against that, somebody can challenge that in the court and take it to legal scrutiny. Whether the court has ordered the ASI survey. So we need to see here what the court has also ordered.
No, at least
We need
abolish
to take
that
into
act.
consideration orders of the court.
At least abolish that act.
Yes, we appreciate your enthusiasm, Srikar, that you are demanding for abolition of the act. We are also for abolition of the act. It is under consideration and the scrutiny of the Honorable Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is, in consideration of this, and whenever it gives its verdict, we all will definitely comply to it. And we believe firmly, as people of this country and belonging to a party which has the largest membership and governments in the largest number of states, and which is blessed by the mandate of the people. And we believe that people have elected the BJP government in all these states because BJP has always stood for protecting the culture. And when things like such acts, which are not constitutional, we believe are not constitutional, come in way of speaking out truth and showing the actual history of India, definitely as time comes, these will also undergo the scrutiny of the court or in the parliament, and they will be definitely discarded.
Actually, there is a joke going on in internet. Actually, it's a logic. During 2.0 elections of Yogi Adityanath, there was a issue in Karnataka, hijab issue. Now there is a election on full force in Delhi. Now when Delhi election is very near, people have take up this issue called Sambal. How can you see this? Whenever there is an election in a most popular BJP ruled state, there will be something or the other issue. Why is this happening?
So what we need to see is actually the Archaeological Survey of India operates in thousands of historic sites or hundreds of historic sites across India. And in every day, I'm sure, as a correspondent of, channels that you have worked, so many petitions come to courts every day. And the court gives orders on so many things, which may also include surveys. It can be property survey, survey of religious places, survey of other lands, and so many other things. So an advocate has filed a petition with the court. The court has given an order. The archaeological survey, as per the orders of the court, went for the survey. So till here there was no issue. The issue actually began when there were 6 cartridges, independent gunners, people who had come to resist the survey, people
Police
who made
were
a
being
fuss out of
attacked.
it, people who caused loss of life, cause of loss of property, arsoning. This has got the attention, and this is anti-law. So do you think the survey in itself is illegal or arsoning is illegal? What do we need to back in a democratic country?
No, I
Do we
say
need to back
violence is
riots?
illegal. I say violence is illegal.
Right. So that is where we stand. Hundreds of surveys are happening across the country. While we are talking, there may be survey happening in some part of the country, or Archaeological Survey of India may be doing its work. Okay. What got attention here is the violence that was released there, the violent act by the group which didn't want survey to happen, which from over 1000 years or 800 years has been trying to subjugate the place of Sambal, trying to suppress the Hindu importance of Sambal, because Sambal is of great importance to Hindus due to the future incarnation of Bhagwan Vishnu, the Sri Kalki avatar, as mentioned in Mahabharata and Skanda Purana. What is astonishing to me is, if you look in Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the story of the Vishnu avatars and also the Sri Krishna avatar. In Sri Krishna avatar, since Kansa was informed that Krishna, his nephew, will be born to his sister Devaki and Vasudeva, he jailed them so that he can kill the baby boy when he is born, and he becomes Ajar and Amar, and he does not get death in the hands of Krishna. Similarly, because the mention of Kalki is there in the scriptures, that Kalki will be born there and he will eliminate adharma. So many Muslim rulers, even the invader Ghazni and his nephew have come to Sambal
Okay.
and trying to suppress the Hindus. Just like the Rakshasa Kansa, so many Muslim invaders, I'm talking about the invaders, Lodhis, Tughlaqs, the Mughals, and Ghazni himself, the nephew of Ghazni himself, they have so staunch conviction in our Hindu Shastras that Kalki Avatar will be born here. So they are hell bent upon stopping from Kalki taking birth there by trying to, destroy the temples, putting in debris in the wells. So these attempts look to me like, what Kamsa has done during his era, trying to stop the Krishna's Janma from happening there, so that he escapes his death. So I'm not sure whether the asuras of the invaders who have invaded India consider themselves to be eliminated by the future Kalki avatar of Bhagwan Sri Vishnu, and that is why they have interest in Sambal, or is it because Hindus worship and Hindus astha, spiritual belief and faith is closely associated with the place, as mentioned in the scriptures, or that is the interest they have. But definitely they're repeating what Kansa is trying to do. But definitely Krishna has taken birth and Mahavatar Kalki will also take birth. Definitely this will happen. But what is important here is how constantly for over 800 years there are efforts to suppress this. We need to see why people are hell bent upon trying to keep this place away from Hindus and destroy this place. Why don't we discuss such things? That is also very important for the viewers, that they need to learn that it's not just now, it is not just about some election or just about one petition which has brought things to life, that this attack has happened. It happened in 1978, killing 184 people, and since 12th century, since 14th century, this has been happening. We need to discuss this, and this needs to be, people need to be aware about this.
Okay,
So
now
there were no elections then, my brother.
the blood which is being
There were
shed.
no elections back then, but
Yes,
attacks have happened.
I do accept it, but because of the bloodshed which happened 1.5 month before, which happened in Sambal, will Yogi Adityanath's bulldozer will get into action?
That the government will see, whatever deems right. Definitely, wherever the government is focusing, wherever the top leadership is visiting, so many issues are being addressed, like the surveys happening on the other side, illegal electricity connections, illegal properties, encroachments. So definitely, when we take up that place, it will be cleansed properly. So whether or not the bulldozer will come, we need to wait and see. But definitely, the government will use all the mechanisms to see to that justice prevails. The victims of this place who had to leave their ancestral homes, who have to leave their homes, their hard earned money and property, and to run away from Sambal, definitely they all, need to get justice, and the government will ensure that they get justice. Justice will be delivered to them.
One more thing here we need to discuss, and viewers are also very interested to about in this subject. Why? Because in very few days Mahakumbh Prayag is going to happen in UP, which is not more far than to Sambal, which is very near. Will this violence affect Mahakumbh Prayag? What do you say?
Immediately, the government has taken up the security measures, and a police outpost has also been set up there. And people who understand Modi ji, okay, Yogi ji, they have already seen that they have tried their luck. But I don't think they will take a chance again, because Modi ji, Yogi ji is known for curtailing disobedience to law or violence with an iron fist. So whoever wants to, play with fire, they are at their own risk.
Actually, many analysts were saying during 2024 elections, Lok Sabha elections, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Prayas didn't work out in UP. So that's the reason why BJP is taking a hard stand during this time. Is it true?
No, it is a wrong notion.
Okay.
It is a wrong notion that election results will determine the ideological stance and policies of BJP. It is not about who is the encroacher. It is about reclaiming our temples.
Okay.
What is important here is reclaiming our heritage, reclaiming our cultural sovereignty. Cultural sovereignty of Hindus has been at stake for so many years, and now a Hindu Swabhimani government is there. A Hindu Swabhimani government doesn't mean that the government will be against others. That is why it has been very well articulated, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas, Sabka Prayas. But yes, that doesn't mean we will try to be a pseudo-secular or Hindu-phobic or work against the interests of Hindus.
Actually, Mohan Bhagwat ji also said that don't claim every place. What's your take on that?
Can you repeat?
Mohan Bhagwat ji recently said in his speech that don't claim each and everything which you know, just leave it to only one place called Ayodhya. How do you see this?
Definitely, Mohan Bhagwat ji has given a call so that violence incidents don't happen. But what we need to understand here that rule of law is important and people should not resort to violent tendencies. If things happen peacefully and in harmonious manner, I am sure everyone will welcome it.
Okay.
What is important is we need to.
Yeah, concluding the thing, my final question is, you people have found out a temple down there. Now you are telling that we are reclaiming it. Now when you say that we will rename Hyderabad as Bhagyanagar, even OIC will feel bad for that, right? Why are you people saying that?
Definitely, whether OIC will feel bad or not is not a matter of relevance here. What is important is Gollakonda has become Golkonda because they could not spell it.
Okay.
There is archaeological evidence, even activity of human activity in Hyderabad, from Neolithic age, mid Iron Age, later Iron Age, and to thousands of years, hundreds of years, there has been history of villages here, human population here, and human activity here. So OIC is only a very recent development or recent needed or unneeded addition to the history of Hyderabad. So this region, whatever name we call it now, has a very long history. We can discuss that sometime in detail. What is important is what the people of this place feel and what has it been historically.
Actually, winter session
what OIC feels personally.
Yeah, let me break you. Actually, winter sessions are also not completed. Waqf is also one of the prominent bills which have been introduced in these sessions. What you take on that? Is OIC targeting Sambhal or BJP because of the bill called Waqf Amendment? Can that be considered as a logic?
What is his hidden agenda or interest is better known to him. But whenever an ideological issue comes up, our stance is clear. Nation first, history of India is first, heritage of India is first. That will not be covered up, that will not be compromised. Yes, the time taken to address issues, depends upon the procedures involved, institutions involved, legal scrutiny, and the procedural delays or procedural timelines. But our stance will not change.
So, concluding the subject, what would you expect from Supreme Court?
What we would expect from Supreme Court is that the truth be given importance, the underlying truth under the mosques be revealed. This is what I would expect, personally.
Okay. So, this was a prime time debate with Abhishek. Let us conclude today's subject. Let's meet with another episode. Jai Hind. Keep watching CVR English.